Hello, it's Oren Prunken, and today I want to talk to you about how you can create effective ads. So on my letterbox, I purposely don't have a no junk mail sign because I love getting advertisements, aka junk mail, because I like reading them and looking through and seeing what people are doing with their marketing material, because it's interesting to me. Firstly, because I get to see what quote unquote the competition does, but also see where people are failing with what they are doing. So I received 2 flyers, one after another, so one on one day and one the next, and they were A6 flyers, so an A5 sheet of paper folded in half on coloured paper. Now, the very front parts, there's obviously 4 sides to it now. The front page had a black image. Then the next page, the next 2 pages had text, and then the final page had a bit of text, and then a call to action. Both were very similar, and you know, for a standard format for an ad, that's actually pretty good. You've got a hook on the very first page, and then you've got a bit of a story, and then you've got an offer, and then an ask or a call to action at the end. Straight up AIDA formula, AIDA, from the old school. And what the front page was actually gave away everything that they were offering, and that's a really bad idea. So they messed up there. The old adage goes, in sales and marketing, don't make an ad look like an ad. If you want people to read your ad, you can't give away what it is on the headline or the front page or the hook or whatever you want to call it, because people just won't read it. And how do I know this to be true? Because near my letterbox are a lot of other letterboxes, and people have just picked those flyers up, those advertisements up, and then literally thrown them on the ground and littered. So I had to go pick them all up and put them into recycling. So people just read the hook and said, nope, it's not for me. They didn't even get to go in and read any of the ad and see what the offer was or the call to action. So they stuffed up there your headline or your hook needs to be a hook. You can't reveal what's going to happen at the end. It needs to hook and provide some sort of curiosity for people to turn the page if it's physical, or do the next action, click on something if it's online. So then both of these flyers went into a story. Now, one of them did it way better than the other just messed it up completely. So the one that messed it up completely, and I should actually just reveal what the hooks were. It was they were religious flyers, and you could tell straight away from the top. And there is a saying. There's a truck. There is a saying in sales and marketing that if someone disagrees with you, you've completely lost them. So if you are making someone disagree with you, you're not going to be able to communicate with them, or not going to be able to convince them, because they will switch off. So you can't do anything that is going to make someone disagree with you. So there's obviously a lot of atheists out there, and they disagree with the religion, and you've lost them at your hook, because your hook reveals everything that you have a religious ad. Anyway, it goes, the first one that messed it up goes into a whole bunch of Bible verses that make really no sense. So when they're all sprung together, it's just a whole bunch of stuff that just doesn't logically make sense or tell a story. And also, there's another marketing sales saying that says, a confused prospect never buys. And I was so confused. I consider myself a pretty intelligent person, but all of even the language and the vernacular that they were using, especially within religion, just made no sense to me. And then I turned over to the end, and there was a pretty confusing offer. I'm not sure what they were actually offering, and they wanted me to write to them to get whatever they were offering. Now, that's a lot of effort to write to them, to get out a letter and even write something. Like, what do I even write to get the offer? Like, makes it really difficult. You want someone to take action, you're going to make it super easy because people are busy and they are also lazy. That's just human nature. So I wouldn't even know what to write. Then I'd have to get an envelope and a stamp and put it on and walk down to the post box. That's a lot of effort to get something. If it's a text message, just text this number or go to a website, far easier. Now the other flyer, even though they had a really poor hook, it went into actually a story, a written story over 3 A6 pages. So really small, like probably only 300 words, maybe, if that. And the story was compelling. Like, I didn't know what was going to happen. And they made a really good point. And for some people, it would be quite convincing. It was religious again, and they made pretty logical argument. Obviously there were some other objections they would need to come over, because me being very logical, I had some objections with what they were saying. But for a lot of people, I think they would have made a pretty good case. And then again, they looked for an offer, which was, hey, if you'd like to find out more about what this could mean for you, please get in contact with us. Really strong offer, really strong call to action. So both of those that just came in my letterbox hopefully illustrate how you can make a compelling ad, and in contrast, how you can make an ad that is not very compelling. And it all comes back down to the formula of AIDA, A-I-D-A. How can you go get attention? That attention then sparks some interest, and people want to and desire what you are offering, and then finally get them to take some action on that desire because they are now interested because of the attention that you gave them. So every time you're creating a piece of communication, not just an ad, this was, on the very front of the funnel and the pipeline, every time you're creating a communication that you want someone to do something, in other words, sales, it's not just asking for money, think about how you can create a compelling hook that's based on a story that doesn't reveal what the punchline to the story is or the resolution to that story. And then based on that story, what's the logical offer that once you've convinced them makes sense for them to then take action on, the thing that you want to convince them with. So every time you're doing that communication, I want you to try that out and let me know how you go. And like always, I'm very interested in the results you get. And till we talk next time, hope you have a great day, and goodbye. Thanks for listening. And if you like what was on here and want more, please go to orenprunken.com.